As I lay within my rent-free enclosure, I recalled what life had been like before all of this. At the dawn of time, there were many of us, more than I could now account for, as the slumber had stolen some of my memories from before the great human upheaval. I did recall her name, Cassandra, another low-level deity. We were created around the same time, and from the first moment I saw her, I was completely enamored with the energy she gave off. When we were young, she always preferred the older, more important deities and did not even bother to take me into consideration, except when she found herself alone with no one else to talk to. I used to cherish those moments with her, hoping to become more than just her convenient acquaintance whenever she had nothing better to do. As time passed and we discovered our powers, Cassandra obtained the ability to both grant and remove fertility from male and female creatures alike. As for me, I possessed the innate gift of transitioning creatures to whichever sex they felt most represented by. Thus, every creature possessed both an inner male and female persona, and whichever persona proved stronger allowed me to transition them to that sex within a matter of minutes. Cassandra was always seeking passionate relationships with the more important male deities. Once they grew tired of her, however, they would cast her aside and move on to another female deity closer to their own rank. How vividly I recall her throwing herself at the sun god. It was embarrassing to watch her constantly seek his approval and belittle herself simply so he might consider her for a time, whilst disrespecting her in front of the other deities, and discard her whenever a more attractive lesser goddess made herself available. I would feel sorry for her until she attempted to save face by treating me as insignificant or using me to make one of the more important male deities jealous. Upon the creation of humanity, many of the major male deities began enjoying the company of their female creations, doing with them what many of the female deities were either unwilling or unable to provide. Over time, once all the major male deities had finished with Cassandra and cast her aside, I began to think she finally would see reason and consider me worthy of her affection. Instead, following the example of others, she began pursuing human males. The less intelligent they were, the more attracted she seemed to become, especially those who shared facial features or personality traits with the upper-ranking male deities. Even among humans, she found herself trapped in broken relationships that never lasted long. She was always searching for someone to fill the void within her heart. Once she began involving herself with humans, I no longer desired her. I saw her as someone unworthy even of a lesser male deity. Instead, I turned my attention toward other deities who were more aligned with me and did not look down upon me. For some reason, female deities who were either slightly more powerful than I was, or equally powerful yet younger found me attractive and had no issues with my status. They gave me importance, and things would work well until they inevitably reminded me that my divine powers were, in truth, of little consequence. It was then that I began to have my first experiences primarily with other lesser male deities, and every so often with a major male deity who happened to be curious. These encounters filled the void within me. They made me forget my status of being a lesser deity. They made me feel like someone capable of learning new things and exploring new experiences. I hate to admit it, but it was both a physical and spiritual awakening. As time passed and human technology advanced, humanity began thinking very highly of themselves. The gods were worshipped less and less with each passing generation. When this happened, I decided to teach them a lesson. If it was a man over 30, I would transform him into the opposite sex. If that was not possible, I would transform his first or only son into a woman, striking him precisely where it hurt most. As for women, I would wait until they had fallen in love and were about to be married. On their wedding day, I would transform them into men and ruin their plans in an instant. The message was simple. Even lesser deities were not to be disrespected by humanity. This continued to work until human technology advanced further in the fields of genetic engineering, medicine, surgery, and biotechnology. Eventually, what I had done could be undone, though only by the wealthy and powerful. Those of lesser means remained unable to reverse my handiwork, even at the height of human technological achievement. However, it was during this era that humanity began viewing the gods as potential endless energy sources. The first to fall was the sun god. The same deity who had once considered himself omnipotent and all-powerful, attracting the most beautiful deities, commanding every room he entered, and believing himself incapable of defeat. In desperation, he plunged the world into eternal darkness, believing this would end humanity. But humanity had already developed artificial suns both in space and within controlled environments on Earth. They had learned how to harvest solar energy directly in space, store it, and distribute it wherever it was needed. His efforts proved futile. He became the first god to be absorbed and converted into an energy source, believed to be eternal until eventually he was not. After the sun god spent millennia fueling human civilization, the remaining gods were captured with relative ease, subdued, and absorbed. You cannot forget the day it was Cassandra's turn. By then, humanity had developed the ability to take a fertile egg or sperm and rewrite its DNA to match whatever parent desired the child. Her power had become completely obsolete. She was merely a shadow of what she had once been when we were first brought into existence, decadent, faded, and diminished. Rather than helping her, I chose to walk away and pretend I did not know who she was. Even now, I can still hear her screams as the human seized her and carried her towards the sleeping chamber. A few more millennia passed before they finally came for me. Ironically, possessing a lesser power ultimately worked in my favor. By that point, none of the ancient gods remained. They existed only as memories by the time I was placed within the chamber. Because I was never fully absorbed, I retained the glimmer of each deity's power. Nothing extraordinary, just fragments, subtle traces of what they once possessed. Yet, in this new age of humanity, these fragments may prove far more useful than anyone could imagine.